The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was, and still is, praised for its incredible dungeon design. Its labyrinthian structures leave players filled with many emotions: dread, wonder, fear. However, as Ocarina of Time was being developed, few dungeons were cut. In particular, the oft-considered mythical Light Temple. The Light Temple, or the Temple of Light, was first mentioned in Ocarina of Time after we first pull the Master Sword and travel 7 years into the future. Rauru, who may or may not end up being a dragon now, tells us that we stand in the center of the Sacred Realm and its capital. This is the very temple where the legendary Triforce resides. A legacy such as this just can't go untapped. This stone simply can't be left unturned. With the remake, we could finally get the Light Temple we've all hoped for 28 years, which is exactly what I want to discuss in this video. The potential of not only if the Light Temple will finally make its long-anticipated debut, but what it could be like, the many puzzles it might offer, and even a dungeon boss proper. First of all, what could something like a Light Temple even be like? Most people would probably point to things like Majora's Mask Stone Tower Temple, or the Temple of Time in Twilight Princess. These games, along with Wind Waker, carried on the legacy of some of Ocarina of Time's cut content, but definitely not all of it. It's a misconception that the Light Temple's ideas have been completely exhausted in other games. Not to mention, I feel it discredits the creative potential of the Zelda team. Surely they can make a Light Temple if they've made this many water temples. Light is incredibly abstract, and puzzle mechanics built around light could be expanded to the absolute limit. Considering the Sacred Realm exists within its own plane, separate from Hyrule, what if we could use the theoretical sun within the Sacred Realm, and the Sun Song to solve massive dungeon-altering puzzles? Alternatively, maybe the Triforce itself? Again, this will be pretty abstract, so I hope you enjoy my terrible Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, and Breath of the Wild dungeon gameplay. The Sacred Realm is described as being the Golden Land. It's a place of absolute serenity and peace. In games like A Link Between Worlds, it appears as this strange ethereal plane with floating Mario-esque islands in the background. It echoes Tears of the Kingdom or Skyloft. It would be mind-bending to truly harness light to progress to the Light Medallion. As mentioned before, what if we could use the Sun Song? But this time, it works more like Majora's Mask 3D's Song of Double Time. Depending on the time and phase of the sun, it opens paths or makes certain enemies vulnerable to the light. The dungeon item could potentially be a light rod, or even a callback to the Dominion Rod, the ability to control massive automatons with the power of light. This could even be an item that gives you Minoru-esque mounts throughout the world, giving the player an extra exploration mechanic prior to starting the Forest Temple. In any event, how could a Light Temple boss work in Ocarina of Time Reborn? I imagine all of the dungeon bosses will have received some major deviation to make them feel more challenging or modern. So, basing our information off the last 3D Zelda game, I imagine this would be a creature that can be defeated in a multitude of ways, allowing for player creativity and replayability. Nintendo can have their cake and eat it too, I suppose. Moreover, what would a Guardian of the Light Temple type boss be? Many may imagine Godan, or some sort of being that represents the Sacred Realm's paradise. But what if it wasn't? We know that at this point in the story, Ganondorf has taken the Triforce's power and corrupted the Sacred Realm, but the Light Temple seems to be untouched. Well, let's change that. This could be a trial of the gods, a terrifying beast, or even a corrupted construct, a long-lost denizen of the Sacred Realm. Turn into a monster? Whatever it is, I hope it reflects
You motherfuckers,
the theme of light and the Light Temple. But what do you think? What do you want this dungeon to be like? What kind of dungeon item and boss are you imagining? Do you even want a Light Temple? Or for Reborn to stick to the original 5? Discuss in the comments. Like, subscribe, and